Hi, I'm Dr. Lester, the principal of Franklin Middle School, and I'm just sending out our weekly video update to let the Viper family in our community know how our week was. So many of you received the news, and I apologize to some of you who didn't receive the news when it was initially sent out. That message was sent in an automated fashion, and sometimes technology doesn't work like it should. So I appreciate those parents calling in or emailing us um, about not getting the update before they heard it in the news. And so we weren't aware that some folks weren't on the receiving end of that. So again, we apologize for that. That is absolutely not who we are. So with that said, as you know, we had an eighth grade cohort go home for a quarantine for 14 days. We did a screening test of a student who was complaining of not feeling well. And based on the screening questions that we asked, she stated that um, in her symptoms were symptoms that were very similar to those major symptoms associated with COVID. So the decision was made at that point by the health department to give us the guidance that we needed to make sure that we're going to err on the side of caution. Again, we still to this day do not know if that student has tested positive or negative, as those test results aren't available. And so we are going to just keep at that 14-day quarantine with our students to err on the side of safety. It's safety first in our building. So hearing that, um, students at Franklin could have possibly been exposed to COVID. There's a lot of rumors, and so let's just address those misconceptions. There's been nobody in our building that has tested positive, nor do we know of any family members of our students who have a current active COVID case at home. So I think it's super important to make sure that if you have questions or concerns, to call the school and talk to an adult. And sometimes things get misinformed on social media accounts, or just when parents share information or students share information to parents, and sometimes information gets lost. But at the end of the day, there's not a single student at Franklin Middle School that's been diagnosed with COVID, nor do we have any staff members with COVID. So I just want to make that very clear. We have a very tight cohort um, approach with our students in class to ensure safety. And what that cohort approach means is that we have very small classrooms, and those classrooms don't really intermix hardly ever with any other classroom. So those 19 kids that are in the cohort that we had to quarantine, that those 19 kids had very minimal interaction with any other students in our building because of the way that we built the master schedule and the bell schedule, and that we have teachers doing the rotating and students don't do the passing period. So please know that if you have any concerns, just to reach out to the school. I know that we've had some phone calls and haven't been able to get back to some folks. So just be patient with us. We are all walking in this new territory here. And I still sometimes don't believe that we're having this kind of a conversation. So I know this is stressful on you all, and it's stressful for us. But the number one thing is that your student safety and the staff safety. We have teachers who have their kids here at our school, and they feel that this school is safe for their student to be here and for their own child to be here. So just know that we would never put your child in harm's way. Um, and that we would be the first to make the changes and make the calls if something were to change in our circumstances. So we do know that many people have been trying to go with the online option. Obviously, since we had to initiate a quarantine, and now there are additional schools in our district that have had to follow the same process. Know that the online school that's being currently operated through the district is full. So that deadline closed clear back in July 31st, and we've been able to sneak some families in here and there. But right now, we can't guarantee that your student is going to get a quality education through that program, because if you put too many kids in and don't have enough staff to support them, they're not going to learn at the best of their ability. So it's really important that if we're going to offer an educational experience for your student, they still need to get that individualized support. So know that Franklin is working on a plan. We're not quite there yet. Hopefully we'll have some of the things ironed out next week, and we'll roll that out to parents for options. as it pertains to quarantining, as it pertains to your fear of sending your student to school. Your circumstances at home have changed, possibly that you have somebody at home that is has an autoimmune or is fragile medically. So please know that we're working as fast and as hard as we can. Some things just take time, and I know that just is frustrating. It's frustrating for all of us. So again, thank you so much for your patience. Moving on to another announcement, that we are looking at our free and reduced lunch applications. And those applications, let's see here, those applications need to be completed. If you haven't done that, we want to continue to offer that free and reduced lunch opportunity, that programming for your students. So if you will be getting a phone call if you didn't fill out this application, and there'll be somebody on the other end helping you walk through the process. Starting next week on Tuesday, we are taking the what's called the NWEA MAPS test. Your students should all be familiar with what the MAP test is. And so we'll have a unique bell schedule on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we'll make sure that we make those announcements appropriately on Monday so that all kids know where they're supposed to be. They'll stay in the same cohort. They're going to be in the same classroom. None of that changes. It's just how the day happens to roll out will be a little bit different. We just encourage you to encourage your student to do the very best they can on this test. When kids don't take the test serious, and I know it's a test, which is a bummer, but when they don't take it serious, they score a level that's not accurate as to who they are as a learner. And because of that, we put together a plan that might be too low or too easy. And we're trying to get, just like the Goldilocks and Three Bears, we're trying to get that just right. So it's important that your student do their very best. And we have to partnership with you because we are definitely a team. We are going to have picture day next Friday. There's been some confusion, and I don't know where that came from, but we've had some little sweet sixth graders come and all decked out in their picture clothes. And the pictures aren't going to be taken until next Friday, and your student doesn't need to wear a uniform on that day. So if you are interested in getting school pictures, just reach out to the office, and we'll make sure that we get some of those envelopes sent home with students. Again, thank you for your grace in this whole process. And this isn't easy for any of us. And I feel confident in knowing that we can partner and come up with some solutions and to meet the needs of each one of our scholars here at Franklin. And so please do not hesitate to reach out via this email that this video has come to you with, or call the school, and just continue just to extend patience as we work through the numerous changes that seem to happen on a daily basis. So again, this is Dr. Lesser from Franklin Middle School, wishing you all a fantastic and peaceful weekend.